Chapter 9 is about various kinds of sign language. There are sign languages used by hunters who want to be silent while stalking game. And there are sign languages used by people such as the Native Americans as a contact language to communicate when they had no common spoken language. But most often we think of sign language as the means of communication among deaf people. ASL, American Sign Language, is the sign language used by the deaf community in North America. It's different from British Sign Language. In fact, it's different from the various sign languages around the world, just like spoken languages are different in different countries and language communities. Because the founder of deaf education in the United States, Thomas Gallaudet, studied deaf education in France, ASL is closely related to French Sign Language. ASL is a complexly structured language with its own grammar. It displays the fundamental properties linguists have described for all languages. Unlike manually coded English and fingerspelling, which are usually used in educational settings and for public communication with hearing people, ASL has historically been used almost exclusively within the deaf community. For native signers of ASL, the encoding and decoding of their language operates without any link to English. For instance, it has a different word order than English. It has different inflections than English. Researchers have also found that ASL has its own phonology, morphology, and syntax. Because the study of ASL is shedding new light on almost all areas of research dealing with the nature of human communication, we're going to talk about some of the findings of ASL research. You'll see that ASL is a delivery system for linguistic competence governed by rules similar to those for speech. The Greek root phone means both sound and voice. So the use of such terms as phonology, phoneme, and allophone to label concepts applied to a silent language might seem strange. A pioneer in the study of linguistics of sign language, William Stokoe, proposed substituting such words as carology, careme, and allocare for the words using phone. The combining form care means handy. However, today's sign language researchers use the terminology applied to speech for sign language studies. So linguists use the word phonology, phoneme, and allophone for sign language as well as spoken language. And just as no one has ever heard a phoneme of spoken language, no one has ever seen a phoneme of sign language. You hear or see the allophones that are conceptually perceived as being the same phoneme. In 1960, Stokoe described 3 distinctive characteristics that could be used to analyze signs. Stokoe saw signs as being produced by the simultaneous combination of features that he called des, designator, sig, signation, and tab, tabula. Another linguist added palm orientation, also known simply as ori, orientation, as a major feature or parameter of sign language. The des, or designator, describes what acts, such as the arm-hand configuration. The sig, or signation, tells what motion or action is involved in making the sign. The tab, or tabula, indicates the location which the sign is made, in front of the signer's body, in the face, or the head region. Palm orientation, or ori, is the direction that the hand is held. Any sign could be defined in terms of these 4 characteristics, just as any sound can be defined in terms of the characteristics of stop, voiced, nasal, and so on. For instance, the ASL sign sorry is the des, the hand shape for letter S, tab in the trunk area over the heart, sig, a circular motion, ori, The palm of the closed fist is facing the body. In speech, phonemes of a morpheme are segmented, produced one after the other. In sign language, the phonemes of a morpheme are produced at the same time. Stokoe isolated 55 phonemes for ASL, 12 tab phonemes, 21 des phonemes, and 22 sig phonemes. In addition, there are also 6 ori phonemes, inside, outside, left, right, forward, and backward. Just as the spoken word sorry is made up of phonemes sa-ri, the ASL sign sorry is made up of simultaneously produced phonemes. Just as there are minimal pairs in oral language, there are minimal pairs in sign language. The ASL sign father is the open hand shape, the 5 hand, that's the des. On the forehead location, that's the tab. A tapping movement, that's the sig. And the palm pointing to the midline of the body orientation, ori. The sign mother is the same hand shape and the same tapping movement with the same palm orientation, but it's located on the chin. The signs father and mother are a minimal pair. They're the same except for the tab phoneme. Changing the tab from the forehead to the chin changes the meaning of the sign. Similarly, the tap on the forehead for father or the tap on the chin for mother is a single tap. But if you bounce your hand out from the forehead or the chin in an arc shape twice, the words become grandfather and grandmother. In this case, a minimal pair has been formed with a change in the sig, or the movement. Father, grandfather, mother, grandmother. And by the way, this also demonstrates another rule of ASL. Signs referring to males are located above the nose, referring to females, below the nose.